There we go. I think we... Alright. Oh yeah, I also want to... That over there. Make some... Alright. Well... Oop, that should not have done that, whatever. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We've started up case 2. We're at the trial. It's been a little bit. I was going to stream last week. I just could not get up the energy for it. I had a bit of a rough weekend at the end of that was 2 weeks ago now, but whatever. So I just had a bit of trouble getting us some energy for Friday morning that day. But I wanted to stream today. I need to get the energy back up. I'm kind of taking way too long on Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and Persona 4. I want those to be done before the end of the year. I want to move on to other things. I need to get myself back into the habit of streaming twice a week. As it stands, alternating between the two once a week is not gonna finish either of them. Maybe if I hard focus on Persona 4, but okay, I'm done. Enough stalling. Let's actually get into the case now. Wait. Okay. Mr. Natsume, you say it was 11 PM when you left to return to your room, correct? Yes! And Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally? Of course we can! There's no problem with that report, Sunshine! Actually, I think there's a very big problem. Because there's a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony. What? What do you want about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Ah! Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? Why did they do the exact same pose? Why did they do the exact same thing? This argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Van Zeeks? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're breaking up the wine bottle once again. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hollow chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? I missed that. I missed that. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea. A phantom? It is so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left. 2.5 hours? While they're together? Why would you just leave tea sitting there for 2.5 hours and be like, yep, this is a good time to drink that? For example, at the time stated in the medical report, yes, around 1:30. Aw man! 1:30! Time to drink that tea my maybe friend gave me! That's just been sitting here! Mr. Natsume, he brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying. Drink the tea while it's hot! Objection. And in my country, there's an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. I've never heard of either of these before. What the fuck are you two on about? The point is, there was such a long gap. There may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities. What sort of possibilities, Counsel? Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor? That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend, from someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. You suggest this may have been a suicide, Counsel? Objection. Mr. Shamsphere has categorically denied suicide. They can actually do that since he's actually still alive. It doesn't help that at the end of the day, Shamsphere is pointing the finger squarely at Soseki. The idea can and must be discounted. I will fully admit, even though I had 2 weeks to do so, I did not re-review Case 4. I did not really re-review Case 4. I started rewatching Case 4, and then I just could not get myself to finish it, so if there's any hints in there, I totally do not know them. And I don't trust my memory, because my memory has been pretty wrong before. For example, this is something I meant to bring up earlier. I mentioned, wasn't, in the last episode, I mentioned, wasn't that the name on the, at the end of Case 5 for Jigoku? It wasn't. It was, an A Shin, I think it was at the end of Case 5. That I did re-review. It was A Shin was one of the names in the Case 5 ending. So I don't know where I got Jigoku from. Which makes me think that maybe I saw a spoiler for Great Ace Attorney Chronicles at some point and just completely forgot it somehow. Maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I had to have seen that name somewhere because that name is definitely familiar to me. So probably someone spoiled something and my dumb self just completely forgot it, which, on the one hand, good, on the other hand, oh god, I'm becoming the lamp. No, go back to the weak slip! We are 4 cases in! But this is technically your 5th, I mean, I guess really it's your 4th case, since case 2 of the first game was not a trial case, but this is technically your 4th case now! We are past the weak slaps! But he could be lying! Cold dead stare of do you really think someone would do that? Do you really think he'd choose strychnine of all poisons to try to kill himself and then lie about it? Oh yeah, also I learned how to actually pronounce strychnine, hence this title. Something wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? I was listening to the sound of a carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? The one that's about to burn up. In 3, it would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Who's holding it? Is it Shamsphere? It's probably Shamsphere. Yep, that sure is Shamsphere. Also one thing I did see re-reviewing case from what very, very little I reviewed of case 4, I remembered. Oh yeah, juror number 4 was Joan Garrideb. Literally the person who got arrested. So that's why she's the one no-show, cause she's in jail. Good remembering, Manji. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. They really gonna make him do this entire performance? A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Stupid JoJo Booth! It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Oh! Who's that, you? William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? Oh, come on. I was honestly more shocked that we didn't get the victim up on the stand like in the last game when we had this thing. What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. You're calling him as a witness? Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. What is this stupid staff? He looks like a jester. He looks like a little jester hat. Looks like a little jester hat with a crown on it. Happy am I, Shakespeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. I still have my own tale to tell! My own tale of worst woe! I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence! In perfect English! I'll do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. You! I remember you from the first game. Alright, so that's Mr. Shakespeare. But who's that other man beside him? Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. Twice, even. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet, seducing to the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound, they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare, who was a great bard to be called to life anew. Lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle. William Shakespeare. Seriously. I know this is just Ace Attorney. I know this is just standard Ace Attorney, but come on. William Shakespeare, you had to have gotten your name changed. I mean, if you... God, he had to have at least changed his first name. Oh, name's Metterman. Adrian B. Metterman. Adrian B. Metterman? Metterman? Adrian B. Metterman? I'm not seeing the... I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that first name. Really, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his name in general. I'll find out when I rewatch the case. When I watch someone else do the case. That'll only be Lamp and Jake in my friend group who's done that, wouldn't it? Since Don hasn't actually gotten around to the sequel yet, or at least not uploaded any of it yet. John B. Metterman. Meterman? Whatever. I work for the Altamont Gas Company, East End Branch Office. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? It looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, can we have a word? He just does a pose and then runs away. Right. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garrideb's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh, heavens! heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember that sweet poison that has crushed me and crushed mine innocent lips? I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters by name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed. Don't you get me started anagrams, this is not Zero Escape. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. We're not here to call the names meanings, Rinosuke. Get with the series. Stick to the plot. The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. You're actually taking this seraph anagram idea seriously? I don't think that one can hear, but... Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. My lord, what's the magnificent Mr. Shamsphere doing here? The gas man, I mean. What? Me? Well, now... Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. Recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence. When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that! This young chin stroker is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman? I mean, obviously, Meterman is one. I mean, even then I thought like I had the obvious pun in Many Memo, and I think I was wrong on that one at first. So, whatever. I'm just gonna call him Meterman for now. No, I'm just here. Huh? I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent. In this testimony, the wintry night of my discontent. The snow lay about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But very bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. Was the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, not else. I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. Why? No one else visited his room but that short little round-backed Eastern fella. Why were you watching? Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamsphere's room all night? That's right. Of course the bloke's window's all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through that. The question is, why? Ah! What was the head shape? Well, that's because he's on my list. What a piece of work as a man. Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? Don't even. What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words. What'd you say about me? Look at that chin, though. Do you see the size of that chin, though? Get him out of the gas company. Put him in a red suit and put him in a crimson suit. Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. But he just watched the place for 2.5 whole hours? was just standing out there when he was just standing out there after Soseki left and was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching this building for 2.5 hours. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. We are 2 testimonies in, Judge. I'd say this isn't a first case. This isn't a first case, but even the first cases are never that short. Come on, get with the plot. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This testimony is just weird. And again, I guess that's what happens when you have the victim himself testifying against you. The snow lay about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. To be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume? Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wouldst I call him the man from upstairs. And at what time did the mustachioed Nipponese visit you in your room? Our meeting was premised for the hour of 9, and lo did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes. And we were embroiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means their discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo or Juliet. I forgot about that bit! I, Shakespeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbor played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as were our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Frailty, thy name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? What was those hand gestures? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu. Excuse me. Near did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the comely maiden. We need to sell whether Romeo or Juliet would win a fight. It really just sounds like a fist fight at this point, not like emotional strength, not like resolute strength. No, who would win, Romeo or Juliet in a fist fight? And apparently the answer is Juliet just pulls out her sick-ass jujitsu skills and kicks Romeo's ass, which I mean I'm here for. Juliet beat Romeo up. This is not helping our case. I'm glad at least we know that Soseki could totally win a fight, at least against Shakespeare. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I will do thy bidding. But marry, bitter was his drink. And when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. Hold it. Let me stop you there! Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That must have more than 3 hours of missing time. What is he doing? What is he doing? Why is he doing the shimmy? What is this man doing? Why is he doing a little dance on the stand? If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Gladly. 'Tis an easy task. What? You know, I just realized we have not done the, Wait, have we done... I don't think we've done the thing where we need to look at the other person for, like, their reaction to what you're pressing. I don't think we did that in the first case, so that's probably what this is going to be. That's probably what this is going to be. I did drink of the tea, not while my guest is tired, but after he took leave of me. Look at me dance! Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour post midnight, verily were my lips parched. Objection. That doesn't sound normal! Nothing about this man is normal, Ryunosuke! Look at him! Nay, it is quite ordinary, sire. After all, thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again. Who was stronger? Mr. Shamspear, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege. It was the stupid level of words they attempt to shuttle me off this mortal coil. Ugh, we all know what that means. Was the tea alone that passed my lips that late hour? What else? So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, supper? Ha! Fie on luxury! Fie on gluttony! To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time! In other words, you're poor. You're destitute. I mean, if you live in lodgings like that, you probably can't eat 3 meals a day. Sorry? I would that my belly were full, no more often the sun doth rise. What is he doing? He's... Allow me to jump for joy real quick. Allow me to jump for joy. Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity. Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. I forgot my voice for the judge. Night and day do I fill my hours and learn, study of the great bard and playwright. And there doth not be in my chamber. God, I was too distracted by his stupid back post. What is this dude? I know he's supposed to be like Shakespearean. I think like Shakespearean actors, like Shakespearean actors, there's actors in general have to be like super exaggerated. But man, as this is that there doth not be. Oh my God, I also have to parse through the Shakespearean-ish dialogue. As it is that there doth not in my chamber be then the costumes of mine art. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. He served Bell! Send him to jail! Now I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere. He's an actor, not a writer. Why? I've devoured them all. You just eat paper. You've eaten them? Every word be within my skull. Okay, Ray. Sure, Ray. Just eat the paper, Ray. Every word be within my skull. There's now imagined otherwise. Right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night. Keep an eye on this room. Well, the windows of that house have all been filled in. Historical artifacts of the now defunct window tax. Just keep bringing up the window tax. Don't forget the window tax exists! Yeah, you're right. All bricked up horribly. As it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork in the bottom corner that's been opened up. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to do. I was looking through that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? For some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside his wall. Now, you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to catch him on the fact that the soap... They didn't see the soap, so he couldn't have been looking in. And then they're gonna be like, nah, the soap just wasn't there when he looked in. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business. I mean, considering the size of your chin. It's very noble indeed, the size of that chin. It'd be very hard. Especially on freezing cold nights. But them's my orders. I'm sorry, orders? I'm sorry, you got ordered to, like, spy on this man? Try to keep an eye on his window? So that's what I'll keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body. What was the bow? What's with the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Meterman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings. Did you see the victim leave the room at all? No! He never left! He was in that room the whole time as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, it hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself. It's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle.
Ah yes, lucidly explained, Consul. Thank you.
It really was! You can't argue with logic! There's gotta be something we can argue.
No one else visited his room but that short little round-backed Eastern fella.
Hold it! Racism! You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant then?
Objection!
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with a mustache do you think there are in London? You didn't mention a mustache! Objection!
Well, of course. It's only a narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. We showed up at around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself.
And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shansphere drink tea together?
Nah, sorry. I couldn't say.
Why not?
Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I?
Do we have, No, we don't have any sort of, like... We don't have any sort of, like, logging for, like, the gas and lamp... For, like, Garrideb's, like, lamp spy network shenanigans going on, do we? Did I ever look at... I don't think I ever looked at the evidence. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. You can tell that just from Susato! I think perhaps those have been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes! You never read too much of him, Mr. Naruhodo! Never! God, Susato!
L.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the evidence yet, huh? This must be the cup Mr. Shans we were drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Really? I've never noticed before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot! That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese! This is a teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking. Yes, unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean. That's bad. That actually does support the idea that, yeah, Natsume didn't drink any tea. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. Well, I mean, I guess it's also a possibility. I don't know, I feel like the thing they're gonna be like is like, hey, there was no tea in there, we can't actually be sure. It's more likely that he just didn't pour himself any and didn't drink any, because it's poisoned, and he poisoned it! I always gulp it down, too. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. There's no tea ring in the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. So I know they're... I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, there was no tea ring. There's no ring on the inside. He totally just drank the whole thing down one go. He totally drank the tea too, and they're gonna be like, but there's no tea in the cup. We can't be certain.
Soap. Soap. There. What are you doing with the soap?
Oh, What is it, Mr. Naruhodo? This bar of soap! When we first found it, I could have sworn there's some sort of round disc in this depression just here. A reddish one. Yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now, the depression is completely empty. Where could the disc have gone? I only vaguely remember the disc, but yeah, that was there. I'm actually just looking at the profiles in a while. A man looks for Altamont gas. He witnessed the incident.
Well, I did see was a silhouette of that little round-back fella wearing a pretty dress.
I'm sorry, you saw the dress?
And the pair of them starts some kind of wrestling match. No! I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I'd be fucking weirded out if I was in this man's shoes. I will give him that. I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway. Mr. Meterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visits the victim on the night in question?
No question! Gasman's honor!
What? Is that just Shakespeare again? No, he's gonna be like, yeah, guilty!
My lord!
Goodness me. Yes, Mr. Foreman?
I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me?
Yes! God damn it, you people! Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision?
Too right we have.
Damn you, Vernon! He was... Fuck.
Are you all with me?
Yes! Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination!
To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that filled the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours, he put it. But in the end, what difference do they make? Not as far as I can see. Since there's no parents, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer.
Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the business will blow our top.
Why'd you even agree to come back here?
What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
Very well, will the court be appraised of your decisions? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will say your leanings to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Oh, this is familiar. Alright! All of you!
Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
So, this time at least it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Ugh! Wah! Yeah, Mr. Naruhodo, please! Trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Mr. Sao? We've done this twice now, at least! What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations. Remember? A summation examination! Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. I like how they're re-explaining it, even though this is now, like, their third case in England. And, like, this is literally, like, a day after. This is literally, like, a... Yeah, third case in England. This is literally a day or two after the last one. So it's not as if he... So, like, the idea that he forgot is just absurd. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let it happen. The defense moves to invoke his right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Certainly no other defense counselor in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination.
Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. We've done this at least twice now! Don't I think it's actually been at least 3 times at this point. Don't even!
Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law.
Thank you, my lord!
Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman?
Believe me, my lord, we all know about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Juror number 4 doesn't. Did anyone let juror number 4 in on all this?
Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused.
Judicial findings. Jurors' contentions.
The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Oh, come on. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache.
That is incredibly racist, sir! You were like one of the reasonable ones in case 4 the last game. What the hell?
Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangly actor is a fraudman, for now at least.
I really don't care. Like, I just need this trial to end quickly.
Why did you even agree to come here?
3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all.
I can maybe see why you had to join up the first time, considering it was like... Considering that jury duty calling is like a thing. But like... You could never refuse this time?
Knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. For the stupidest of reasons. We've seen that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shakespeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. He's doing a ritual.
Dance is ancient magic.
Sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes! Let's not forget, I pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before, and it worked, so you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh? Well, you're still very new to British law, after all. 3 cases! Third case! Third case! That's true, I suppose. This is literally 2 days after the last one! That's true, I suppose. And Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. But as she hears Susawa-san out, I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again, or not bother? No! I don't need a tutorial! Do you know how many of these games I played? I know this is like still technically like only the second game where this summation examination thing has been in, but still! Thank you for the kind offer, Mr. Sato. I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand. I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement.
finding two that are contradictory, and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other.
Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
You gonna slap your face? Yes, my lord!
Oh no.
Jury examination. Defense's rebuttal.
Victor may not be well off, but he's a nobleman straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Hold it!
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Can some of them also be liars?
I no doubt about it.
Or that shaky client of yours, for example. Shove off! Absolutely not! Isn't that to me he's no liar?
Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea.
We take the gasman's testimony into account as well. The truth couldn't be any clearer. Ah, well, that's alarmingly logical.
Let me be frank here, I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. It turns out the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all. I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. Not sure my fellow gentlemen in the jury would do the same. Is that right?
Well, yes, perhaps. I don't see it happening.
What's that? Elderly John the Enter, you know? You have to speak up.
Look, I really don't care about this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have in the jury, then? Alright, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said.
Alright, you can show me that the victim's a liar, I'll reconsider my position.
Hold it!
Do you stand by that statement?
You take me for? I'm a gentleman, sir. A man of my word.
I still remember you from case 3.
Let me be perfectly clear about this. It turns out the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. That, I think he's rather splendid.
Hold it!
You say you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? Well, that's not what I said. Lance, the man's the victim here. What reason do we have to lie? Yes, he is rather splendid. So you say, yeah, again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously is exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, ma'am. Thank you so much. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, too slow a while, and has a mustache. Very fishy.
Hold it!
No, not one of those things is a reason to find a man guilty! But he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact. He's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops.
All mustachioed men are criminals. All men with poor posture are criminals. Just look at me! I need to go out and steal some things right now!
See, you arrived at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps. Like a waltz, in fact. Yeah, well, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance. You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot. No! There's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. The victim's version of events is backed up by what the big chin man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. That is, like, complete racist. That is so racist, man. 1, he's Japanese. 2, there was no one else. And 3, he's Japanese. So, that's another 3 steps. All it really does seem more and more like a waltz, doesn't it? What happened to you? You were like one of the better jurors in the last game. Right. And the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more. No evidence suggests the gangly actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least.
Hold it!
A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam?
It really is the most tiresome problem for the company.
Most irritating. You can be absolutely certain that customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. Can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Oh?
Good gracious! Ultimate gas, you say?
Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe. Proper handling is essential. As I'm sure an employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree.
Absolutely, Lady Quinby! Gotta be used properly! Ultimate gas is the best in the world, of course!
God, that chin. I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah! So, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shakespeare was up to in his room? I'm afraid that there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go to in order to steal our gas. Wow! Wow! So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. The dispatch will work to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shakespeare is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But you didn't finish that sentence with a grubbly little gas thief! You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an ultimate gas explosion. She is threatening to kill a man! She is threatening to kill this man! Mr. Shakespeare has been stealing gas. I wonder, during number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement, I thought... Wait, hold on. I thought the whole point of, like, what she was saying before was that we don't have any evidence that he's been stealing gas. My pleasure. The bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed. A little before the part about abject violence if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could shift the balance. The victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality he's a common thief of my company's gas.
Hold it!
I like how we instantly went. I like how we went instantly from like, there's no evidence to suggest that the actor is a thief to like, he's a dirty gas thief! Kill him! That's a bold claim. How can you be so sure? It's really very simple. Noble lady of gas, I pray thee, hold thy tongue.
I beg your pardon.
Hath that rank odored air that doth what darkness illuminate any place in this assembly? Nay, 'tis of sole import here that someone would extinguish the light of mine own life. Verily, I never recall stealing thy gas, but pray let the matter rest till anon. Why, you little...
Beg your pardon, my lady, but might I suggest you don't say any more at this stage. We need hard evidence first. If I keep secretly watching this bloke, I'll get him in the end. He'll slip up! He'll slip up! He'll never know! I'll spy on him until he screws up!
You think maybe that secret's out of the bag? Oh, this is so frustrating.
I really don't care! Like, I just need to end this trial quickly.
Hold it!
You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir? We know this from the last... We know this from literally 2 days ago!
Finished last, that's what it's about.
What's that?
Talking about the dirty and hard part, alright? There's a Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? You bang on horse races? What about your ass work? Derby? It was a dead curt, that's a thing. I couldn't lose, so I took my wife's secret savings, like. But then that hopeless old mare went and did the unthinkable. Ugh, that stupid finished last.
Oh dear, I think it's clear what happened, isn't it?
There's a day the missus used her savings for a trip down the pub.
Is your wife getting drunk?
So come on, let's just business lie now. Just give it up. No, that's not going to happen.
3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all.
Hold it!
What do you really mean by that, sir?
Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do.
At 5? You're really an early riser then, aren't you?
What's that now?
I said you're an early riser.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on.
Sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night. Moo.
What's that, dear?
He's a surgeon too! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Only 3 hours of sleep each night!
That's right, you see? 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, it's not much, is it?
This really isn't helping.
You're a surgeon! Key summation examinations and identifying contradictions between jurors' statements, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, and once I found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. Hopefully, when they see that what they're saying doesn't make sense, they'll change their leaning.
Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. Conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to adjudication.
I can't let that happen. Somehow or other, I have to turn this trial around.
So was it just these two?
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel?
Jury number 1.
What are you yelling about, lad?
I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the way of the owner of Ultimate Gas.
Excuse me while I, pace around.
Well, yes.
The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief.
So good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much.
It's true, we don't have evidence as such, just yet. Claims aren't baseless, you know.
Oh?
What?
You heard me. Seeing as this operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there.
I'll do whatever you say, Malay. Gaspin's honor.
Jury number 1, you say you're a man of your word. If I could show them Mr. Chancellor was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt.
Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor, I'll hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will.
Me? Oh, well, yes.
Now we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. But if this means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground. No, I'm not having any part of this. I want the trial over and done with.
In that case, I shall change my leaning.
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, if that is your real name.
I kind of hope it isn't. It's very much Ace Attorney name, watching fun. It's very much standard Ace Attorney name, but come on, man. That'd be too good. We as a jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are.
It's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty.
Yes, Mr. Naruto.
Victory. Oda! Oda!
Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense estimation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord. In order for the trial to continue.
A little simple for summation examination, but okay.
I think the very first one did have 2 steps. Oh!
A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
Also, I totally screwed up the first time I used that. Now, it's supposed to be for when he throws a thing, because that's the Castlevania joke. It really has been too long since I pulled that one out. You have spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Do you also cover your mouth? Oh, you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. The Scotsman speaketh that which concerns him most, not but gas, not but thin air. I birth bright a while, but have no substance, and doth reek foul.
Oi! What'd you say? Don't make me hit you with my chin!
Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most hardly, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel. Noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart.
Ah, you flowery mouth pompous beanpole! Just because I haven't got the evidence yet!
Mr. Shamspear, if in fact you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. Okay, I know, like, yes, he's a liar, that's bad, but they're not. There's no way that the prosecution, the judge, is going to be like, he lied, he's a gas thief, I guess he lied about everything else. Screw it, case closed.
It is my considered opinion that at the present time, no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court so far heavily in place the defendant. Short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case.
We literally just went through the trouble of a summation examination. We literally just did that. You can't just be like, yeah, screw it, case closed, I'm done. They literally were just like, yeah, not guilty. Four of them were like, not guilty, right now. No.
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated.
Yep, there is. Jury number 4!
Yes.
Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker?
Absolutely, Quimby! Jasmine's honor!
Very well then, we'll hear your testimony now. You'll tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas.
Yes, my lord, it'll be my pleasure. The ultimate gas name, I swear.
If I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam.
Worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in this advisory role, if you wouldn't mind.
Interesting. Woohoo! Oh yeah, sweet sonny! Yeah!
Sir. Very well. At the exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord.
You went to the boss because you were here full! Oh, I'm gonna sting you mock my words!
Sir, please. You both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Ultimate Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
Clear as Ultimate Gas, my lady!
Is gas supposed? I mean...
It's the clearest in the world!
Yeah, I guess gas is supposed to be a clear substance for the most part, isn't it? If you can see the gas, you probably have a problem. That's probably toxic. That's probably smog. I don't know. My sacks. You think the gas is going to his head, Mr. Sato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. With his testimony, the Ultimate Gas Company's investigation.
Proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and mere money collection agent. Ultimate Gas meters accept the company bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
Sorry, Ultimate Gas meters accept thrupenny? Rupenny?
And yet the meter in Mr. Shanspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it.
The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though. The collection agent has the only key.
Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny! If that's a thief, it whiz!
Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hollow chalice.
Forgive me, the pointlessness of all this makes me want to drink. Okay, Van Zeeks.
You mean by that, Lord Van Zeeks? The mustachioed Nipponese poisoned the gangly used for an actor, or didn't he? That's all that should concern this court. And yet, now you must listen to this abhorrence.
A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your eastern island nation is more than geographical distance.
But this turns out to be a crucial testimony. Cross-examination must go ahead.
Ah!
Just getting all the animations today.
Do what you will. When does a boot come up? Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning, an instance of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that it would appear completely unrelated at first glance. I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. The first step in uncovering it would be to establish just who and what this man really is. Gas Company's investigation.
Proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and mere money collection agent.
Does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters?
I do! I have to try to catch people when they're in. Then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. I did not mean to do that.
Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before as well as that Mr. Shamspear?
Well now, interesting you should bring that up. I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how a pair of them survive the winter is beyond me, it really is.
Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. And when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warrant. I object to that, Rinosuke. Soseki does not seem like the book-burning type.
You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say, really, but as you wish. Ultimate gas meters accept drop penny bits. Each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
Hold it!
All London houses have a gas supplier fit with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, high technology, developed by our company, the Ultimate Gas. Anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3 pence coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people use about 3 coins in a night.
But more than that, usually. They have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is.
Thinking about it, Soseki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Ah, yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. And how's the money in the mirror get back to you at the gas company?
Every 3 days, gasmen like me visit properties of the gas plant and empty the meters of coins.
I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues. For the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right.
And yet the meter in Mr. Chancellor's room didn't have a single coin in it.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on?
Weeks and weeks! He's been pitching gas offers for ages! You've examined the mirror in Mr. Chancellor's room, I take it?
Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demand a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock.
The Shamsphere Special!
This sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3 penny pieces.
Even after all that, the rascal's mirror was still empty! I'll never forget that humiliation! I opened up the money box and found a bear! What? I said, you what?
Sir, you're being very stereotypical right now.
Look at his face, that smarmy smile of his! I pulled the mirror straight off the wall and took it back to the office! You know what? Nothing! Not a trace of it being carried over anywhere! Not a single sign!
Sir! Sir, please! I'm a little concerned right now!
What's happening to my salary as a result? Tell my 3 shows and tell me that's what?
Life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter?
Nothing became of it! I still got it!
Oh?
Right here!
No wonder they call you Meter Man!
I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing.
Gas meter has been entered into the court record. Meter dispenses gas for a set time after a coin is inserted. It holds a very strong lock, developed especially with Mr. Shamsphere in mind. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? With your testimony. I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter.
Ugh.
Meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key.
Hold it!
There's only one key for all of your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. Even if someone had somehow managed to get hold of the key, we'd know if the coin box had been opened. Oh? How? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans as it happens. Would you care to explain?
Well now, in order to empty a mirror, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. When I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see.
This feels familiar. Was this literally the thing in, like, Danganronpa V3? No, that was Dust. Seal? Like the sort of thing you put on an envelope, you mean?
Something like that, yes! Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal.
Now, in the case of Mr. Shamsphere's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said.
Seal hadn't been broken either.
That would mean Mr. Shakespeare somehow managed to steal coins from the inside of the meter without opening it? It would seem so, but that would be impossible. Certainly a conundrum. Somebody's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny! That's not thieving, what is?
Hold it!
How do you know that he's been using gas, though? Well now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. On every single occasion, his lamp's been blazing and his stove pounding. The middle of winter and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says, "Let's read to a nunnery." Apple indeed. Ah! With the brook, I can wring the bloke's neck! You're hard under the collar, but still! Every time I open that flaming mirror, it's empty! It's robbing me my salary, too! Sir, please. We can't be dealing with a suicide in court, sir. For all the world, where's the justice? How can Mr. Shakespeare possibly be stealing the money? Don't understand. The explanation is right before your eyes. What? A toast to you eventually realizing that the Gasman could be an accomplice. That did strike my mind. What? Good lord, evidently plausible indeed. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh man. I feel like there were words by the lamp at this. Once I'm done with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I'll get around to watching Jace series on YouTube. I swear. Well, I'm a little afraid to be perfectly honest. Oh please, leave Quimby, I'm a faithful worker! Besides, the money us gasmen collect doesn't tally with how much gas has been used. You don't pay for the same amount! Would you be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages? Clearly that makes no sense. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war? No, I'm not gonna serve that hornet's nest! Go and steal from the company and be finished! It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim. Because Mr. William Shakespeare is innocent. I might need to, honestly, I might need to actually boost that a little bit. Hold up. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I need a boost on this. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'll do that, and maybe next time, and I'll see how the sound is next time. I don't know if I need to boost it. I want to say, looking at the IO thing in my OBS, it feels like I need to boost it. At the same, I don't know. At the same time, I feel it might. You know, actually looking at it, might actually be like fine. Eh. I'll set it to that for now. But I'll see next time I do that. Pray forgive me if that shares some illusion my learned Nipponese friend was clearly under. Ah! I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to this testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know, it does seem that way, but the fact is, I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases are interlinked. Oh? It might seem the two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact they're intimately connected. Yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. I'm trying to remember what was the standout example in the first game that wasn't the fifth case. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. The Alderman Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shakespeare so earnestly. There must be something to it. But then, how has he been managing to steal their gas?
One thing I want to look at.
Looks a little dinky. That's a very sturdy-looking padlock, isn't it? The money box is sealed with beeswax, too. If Mr. Jones were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Hold on, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Jones would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. It does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it?
Did you guys not see this hole?
Oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole. Do you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspear? Possibly. It seems the people at Ultimate Gas must have missed it. They just missed this obvious hole? On the underside? It certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Because of the gas mirror.
Doesn't appear to have been tampered with, huh?
Objection.
I have very serious concerns about Ultimate Gas's thoroughness in investigations.
I think they're not the investigators, I guess. I think they're not detectives, I guess. The Ultimate, I'm afraid to say... This mirror clearly doesn't show signs of having been tampered with. What?
Get away! I've been over and over that thing! I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it!
In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box?
Oh, what?
Right, you're quite right. There's a little hole there. Mirrors aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspear secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why?
Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing thing. You couldn't get a farthing through that.
The Ultimate, I don't know how to actually pronounce the name. I've been going with Ultimate. I don't know if it's Altamont, whatever. I think you could give the court some more details about your mirror design. What sort of details? Well, what I specifically like to know is... How it differentiates coins? How does the mirror tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the mirror know that the coin has been fed as a 3-penny bit? I see what you're getting at now. The mirror tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. The 3-penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see, or the coins just won't fit. I see. It's clearly been very well thought out.
Would this will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent?
As you wish, my lord. Here's a sign for coins the exact diameter and thickness of a threepenny bit. Nothing else will fit. I wonder... I think I have an idea of what he's doing.
Hold it!
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a three-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would that be true? Well, yes, in a way. Weight comes into it to a certain extent as well.
Who thought that though anyway? If I find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the mirror, contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they deal as a fine. We live for moments like that, Gasman do. Live for them! It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Woo! Hurrah for gas! Hurrah for cash! All the bonds all the way!
That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how big are threepenny bits? About 3/4 of an inch across.
You better not expect me to know, like... You better not expect me to know measurements. I'm a dumb American.
What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? Or perhaps there is some other aspect of the mirror's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tact here. Ask me whether the mirror can be dismantled, for example.
Sure.
How can the mirror be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes, given that there are no signs of it having been forced. I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart? Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith from the finest quality steel. The mirror box itself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you, it's quite impossible to dismantle it.
Whoa! Yeah, another leaks from Ultima meter! No coins, no gas, no nothing!
I see.
Williams will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent.
As you wish, my lord. All joints in the mirror are welded shut and the lock is made from solid steel. There's no way to dismantle it.
Hold it!
Has anyone ever tried?
Oh yeah, they've tried, but they've all given up before long.
After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yes, that makes sense. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Is the welded steel construction significant? Perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on. Yes, you may be right. Perhaps we should try a different tact here. Like asking about how the meter differentiates coins, for example?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the coins thing.
This is my only idea.
Objection!
Nope, wrong.
That last statement was contradictory in a number of ways I think you'll find.
In a number of ways, you say.
That's right, my lord. In a number of ways.
Perhaps it would serve you well to concentrate your efforts on one contradiction at a time, Counsel.
I made a bit of a mess of that. A number of ways, actually. Alright, so what does the game want me to say, then? Let's 2 centimeters. Oh wait, I had to re-examine it. Come on, man. With 3/4 of an inch. Do you think we did find this soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. We took this one. I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Screw you, game! I literally looked at it before! Why did you tell me this then?
Objection.
Shove off! Let me just confirm something here. The diameter and thickness were to be correct. The mirror would accept any objects if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Mr. Shamspier's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. I think the same size as a threepenny bit? What was it? The item in question is this! Pulls out a bar. This is the coin! Pulls out a bar of soap. What? I've been inhaling gas! That's a bar of soap! Certainly looks nothing like a threepenny, but I must say. Looks like we're gonna have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap? Is this part here? Really? You made us, like, examine it? Specifically, when we know we have to be looking for specific diameters, and then it's like pointing out again? Come on!
Got it.
You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Really now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen! Sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
Here's what kind member of the public in the gallery. I have here a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. My word, it could be more snug.
Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the ultimate gas company has been being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it.
A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
So your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes! The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit.
Let's concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape.
Then you could use, well, some melted wax or the horns in the mold. You could make fake coins in no time! This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. The method Mr. Shamspier has been using to seal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense! The man had been making fake coins. My working here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Not they melted.
But truly, Ultimate, in the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear.
I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There's one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air. Yes. Exactly! And the meteor gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room.
If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where in the mirror can the remnants of the method used fake coins disappear be seen?
I want to say it's like... I just can't tell if it's stinky because it's stinky or if it's because he, like, put it to a flame. I don't know if it wants me to point out, like, the various marking, some sort of marking around it to show that it's, like, maybe it's been put to a fire, or just the whole. I'm just gonna do the whole. Found this bar soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window.
Outside?
Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
Ah! I get it!
That's right, the answer, of course, is ice.
You say ice?
There's a chance here's been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them to the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. Was it ice? Was it ice that was in there? As this room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the mirror's coin box melts. Turning back in the water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That's how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man's been sealing Altamont gas! Just like that. So simple. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been filling us all bars of soap and some water? That's right, ma'am. I don't believe it. It can't be true. You have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you think that is a guess? That bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence! Sorry? I want evidence! You're going to stand there and tell me I'm mere rubbish. I want to see proof! She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? You kidding me? Very well, Lee, Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Hold on. Are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did know there was a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. Oh! I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. Piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shakespeare's concealing gas is...
Take that!
in the picture. This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. It clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shakespeare. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Almost certainly, it's a wire stain, resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, you can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. Melting ice inside the mirror's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence, too. The Shakespeare slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. Almost called it strychnine again. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. Alright. It appears to me then, Counsel, the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but... certainly not. Didn't be about the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shakespeare was found with a fork in his hand. Meal soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord Vancy. Didn't mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes! extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Ah! The bar broke in half. Perhaps it didn't go very well.
Good gracious!
Bye! Shut up, peanut gallery.
Lord Van Zeeks!
I was throwing my hand up in despair. Happened to catch my hollowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit
Excuse me.
I think I've seen this word in, like, in Great Ace Attorney 2, but... Ineffective verb bumbling. Clumsy. Yeah. But pray forgive my maladroit mistake.
What's the meaning of this, Counsel?
Let me pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination?
Well...
Mr. William Shakespeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, his testimony is unreliable.
That's it! That's exactly it!
Very well, let's assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make?
Well...
You know that suicide can be discounted. Alan Yar's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel containing poison.
Yeah, he's getting us back on track.
And in any question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. Young Gassman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. Of course, see no evidence whatsoever to suggest otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Ah! Therefore, in light of these facts, prosecution calls for immediate education.
You... What?!
Order! Order! Well, Counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruhodo... What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? Well, we know he's a fraud. We know he's tampering with his shit, so...
This is the point where I really wish I had re-reviewed Case 4, the last case. Honestly, I think it also may have come up at the beginning.
No, yeah, because I'm thinking... I've got a thought. He's tampering with a gas meter.
I think Natsume said something. Natsume said something like during this case. I think he said during. I think he did say during Case 4 as well. But I think he mentioned like. I wonder. What sort of gas are they using? More importantly, what sort of effect can it have on someone if you know, go around tampering with it?
Everything is up in the air at the moment. Perhaps I should just wait and see what happens next. So Naruhodo, there's no time to sit back and watch how the trial unfolds. We have to make our own way forward. Oh! A fledgling idea will never flourish into a mature argument that's able to win over the jury.
Could there be strychnine gas? I just looked up if there's strychnine in gasoline. Like, one of the first things I see is from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. I noticed one of the things it says,
Strychnine is a way odorless, bitter crystalline powder can be taken by a mouth, inhaled, or mixing a solution. So, it does seem like strychnine is something that you can breathe in, and you'll get affected by it. Wonder if maybe someone at Alderman Gas was getting a little, antsy about him, and the fact that they just can't seem to find out what's wrong and decided to take a, more direct approach to dealing with the problem. I'm not seeing anything about it. It was like strict. Hold up. I feel like early 1900s or early 1900s or 1920s. I remember looking this up before and seeing. This late 19th century, so it'll probably be like the end of the 1800s. Yeah, send the Manji area. September 8th, 1868 to July 30th, 1912. It lined up with Victorian era. Yeah, it'd be like about 1900, maybe just before. Cause like when you talk, cause like one thing that you should know is that like there's definitely all sorts of health concerns about like stuff from the old times. Like we all know about asbestos. Like that used to be like that was like the things used for like for dealing with fires for a long time, and then it's like, oh yeah, that gives you cancer. I'm wondering if strychnine is like a potential product in gasoline in the 1900s. It might not be a problem. It might not be a. That feels dangerous. It might not be a problem normally, but if you go and tamper with the machines, then what can happen then? Like I said, if nothing else, then maybe there's the idea that maybe Meterman or Lee Altamont or someone in Altamont Gas got a little impatient with the investigation and decided to take matters into their own hands. All this is nurtured with some carefully chosen rhetoric. So, son, I feel like your rhetoric is more carefully chosen than anyone else's sometimes. Seems your argument has run its course to nowhere.
Attention.
No! This isn't over! The fence will not rest! What?
The Council, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shanspeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss?
What if it seeks to highlight 3 facts in order to make his point? Contrary to what you would have the court believe, not all of them have been particularly established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to a lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider. Namely, do we ever... Just wait. I thought the one with the T ring... I guess it's just a T ring and not actually, like, T itself, so you probably couldn't use, like, that for investigating it. I mean, I guess my next thought is that, like, if he's like, well, he wouldn't eat that, would he? Well, wait, like I said, strychnine is something that can be inhaled. If the water's melting, if you somehow got strychnine into the soap or the water, and, like, if you kept, like, that's the only I'm gonna go with this one for now. We've all been led to believe that strychnine poison has afflicted Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. Since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. A particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The water stain? You guys suggest that he used the tea to make his fake coins?
This has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
I just don't know if they want me to point out, like, the water stain and be like, maybe use the tea for that? I mean, he did have the teacup in his hand. I just don't know what exactly they want me to present here. They want me to present the water stain again, or they want me to present the soap?
Take that!
A pic with the photograph in it? What exactly is this piece of evidence supposed to reveal about Mr. Natsume's tea, counsel?
Well, I suspect it may possibly be related to the tea in some small way. If you dig deep in that was the wrong one. Then you'll be digging for a very long time indeed, my learned friend. Oh. Even at the bottom of the deepest chasm, you will find no sense in that absurd assertion. Ah! Ugh, sometimes I wish I could disappear down a deep chasm to escape his deep sarcasm. Wow.
I advise you to think more deeply before you answer again this time.
Take that!
Soap, then? Gracious! Yeah, alright. Soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. Oh, we actually get a look at that medallion or whatever. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What bars of soap do we lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thieves' coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. Coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly, something very obviously strange. They were red.
The ice was red.
No, you mean... That's right, it's obvious to me now. Fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea! What? I'll remind the court of the statement made by Mr. Natsume early in this trial.
That evening, yes. I did take some fresh root tea with me when I visited Mr. Shadowspear's room as a gift. Public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! Ah yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water remains in the east and are prone to freezing.
So the main question, Mr. Shadowspear, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins.
My word!
There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shadowspear's window.
Extraordinary!
Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that even if 1 drop of the tea remained, Skylight Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. But finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all.
Ah, you smug Nipponese!
My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. That's the wrong spelling of judgment. Everyone gets that wrong, but still, I expect more from a video game. Especially one by a studio like Capcom. Even though they're probably just a publisher. Whatever. We should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar stuff from the scene at once. And the feds request a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it. To determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once!
Yes, my lord, understood! We have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks.
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. Trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord! Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow.
Thank you, consuls. Court's adjourned until tomorrow. Until tomorrow, huh?
Huh? We doing 2 investigation days?
Oh my god, we're doing 2 investigation days. I don't think we did this once in the previous game.
They kind of tend to shy away from, like, I mean... Yeah, I don't even think we did, like, 2 full investigation days in the last case of the previous game. I think once we were in court, we stayed there until we were done. Ace Attorney kind of shies away from making trials last more than a day nowadays. It's not like the early days of the trilogy where, like, they were just like, yeah, 3 days. We have 3 full trial days. So it's weird to see them be like, yeah, 2 investigation days on the second case. 22nd of February, 1:11 p.m., Naruto's legal consultancy. Whew, we made it back in one piece. Just. To be really honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. Oh, a lot of close shaves. There's so many carriages in the streets of London. We were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruto-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. Now your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time. Let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that! Everything alright? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it. That's all. I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma someone else wished he'd follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. I feel like we're bringing up Kazuma a lot more in this game compared to, like... I mean, we are in the second case, but... feels like we're bringing him up a lot more, like, in these two cases than we did throughout all of, like, cases 4 and 5, and maybe even 3. Except for, like, the very end, obviously, for obvious reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I feel like they're bringing up Kazuma a lot now. It feels like we kind of... Like, I feel like we did kind of move on from Kazuma, like, maybe a little too quickly in the first game. Now it feels like suddenly, like, oh yeah, remember that he existed? I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. You're doing wonderfully, Naruto-san. No doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if you were here with us. Thank you, Sasao-san. Thank you. It's still a spade, though. Perhaps I should put this spade away somewhere. That's not a spade, Naruto-san. It's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You're so right, Naruto-san. We mustn't quarrel over such trifles.
There's a spade, there's a shovel, Naruto-san. I will throw you if you don't agree with me.
On reflection, then, I think I'll leave the spade where it is. Yes, I think that's for the best. You may need a shovel when we're working in the garden. I will throw you. Memories. I'm still sad no one comments on the ladder. And or step ladder here. I think there's another room behind that door. Yes, it's my bedroom, Naruto-san, as you well know. Shall I help you unpack your things? That's very kind, but no thank you. Your luggage looks very heavy. Are you sure I can't help you move it? That's very kind, but really, no thank you. The young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. The only secret I have is a 5-yen banknote hidden on the backside of my Daruma doll. Hey! You holding out on me? These things were keeping sea creatures. They're called aquariums, and they were all the rage in London at one time, apparently. Yes. The English is so clever, coming up with the idea of having ocean life on display in the home. And it means you always have an emergency midnight feast on hand. Naruto, do not eat the goldfish! I'm not sure that's really the idea. Naruto, I'm sorry. I don't think... Naruto, do you know how to make sushi? I somehow doubt that. Remember Kazuma and his armband that I'm wearing, and thus I am Kazuma? You've been wearing that ever since we arrived in Great Britain, haven't you? Well, it's what shows that I'm a lawyer, so it seems appropriate. Not sure that really means much in this country, though, I'm afraid. I wouldn't say that. It might not be official, but it looks official. Also, when the police stop me, I just show them this and they leave me alone.
You're stopped by the police often?
Dirty soap stealer. Well, you know, I'm a suspicious foreigner dressed all in black with a sword at my side.
I do think it's probably the sword that's the main reason.
Well, it makes me happy to see you wearing it. And the armband. Yes, I made up my mind I'll carry them always. Symbol of who I am, the sword Karuma.
Karuma was the name of the sword?
Did we get that in the previous game?
So, please wash yourself.
Salsa, what do you make of this?
Ah yes, the soap that we found on the ledge outside Mr. Shanstier's blocked up window.
If it's discovered in poison, I've been scared to wash my hands. I keep thinking the foul soap is going to be the end of me.
Well, the soap's bad name was clear in the end, wasn't it?
I suppose so. I'm so worried about it. I think it would be safer just to never wash my hands again.
I think you haven't thought that through. You will wash your hands, Naruto-san. You will.
Also, when I think about it, how much strychnine would you have to inhale before it starts taking effect? Because even if he did do it like... Oh, hello. The high dose of strychnine is very toxic to humans. Minimal lethal oral dose in humans is 30 to 120 milligrams. I mean, I guess the lethal dosage just... I mean, I say that, but at the same time, you just need to inhale enough strychnine to have an effect, not to kill him. So that's the important thing. He is up and about. He is fine now, it seems. He might have inhaled strychnine, but certainly not enough to kill him. So I guess, like, yeah, maybe a few coins. If they were from like 9 to 1, then that's 2 hours of gas. Then that'll only be like 2 coins worth. Well, on the other hand, it does specifically say ingestion. I don't know, I'm still wondering how they know it was ingested. Like, presumably they tested the man himself, and that's how they found the strychnine in his system, but how do they know that he specifically ingested it? I feel, because I got caught up on this before in the first game with, like, the whole, with the laughing gas and the, what was it called again? Curar? What Novella and Val call it? Bonery juice? I don't think it was quite that. It's been a while since I watched them play Case 1. I started like watching through Val Novella's like the Case 4 part of Val Novella's thing, but then I think like Val brought up Lost Judgment, and I was like, oh no, I have not even played through Judgment yet. I still have to get around to that. I'm not getting spoiled on Lost Judgment. Just notes right out there. Envelope never came up at all. Southdown, what do you make of this?
Oh dear, indeed. Let me see.
Case 4 was a case 5. I don't remember anymore. I think it was case 4. If you don't know, really, it's fine to say so. I won't hold it against you. Unless you put coins in this mirror, of course, it won't give you any gas. British has some really chilling inventions, don't they? Sorry? Well, you could die on a cold winter's night if you weren't able to light your stove. I suppose in a way, one little coin could be the difference between life and death. Personally, I'd break the mirror and find a way to light the stove somehow. Oh no, the mirror may explode if you were to tamper with it, Naruto-san. Gas companies have it all buttoned up, don't they? Anything else? Asuma Sogi, best friend I ever had. A lawyer with such promise. They saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. It's a stowaway! Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. You really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. I never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world. Stay at the forefront of everything. Can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, and then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Naruto-san? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. Change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. That's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know, the thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Naruto-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? Sword! I mean this. It's katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma? That's right. Prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. The Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. Was being compelled to wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Did you come to Great Britain to kill a man? Is that what we're supposed to be getting from this? Something you have to do. Yes. I appreciate you seeing it through with me. I want you to be there when I murder a man in cold blood. I need you to be my lawyer for me, Ryunosuke. Of course I will! Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What do you mean by something very important that I have to do? I hope that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but... As yet, I've not found a single clue. Let's see. So, we know that Soseki-san took tea to the victim of the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. Well, if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shanspier's body? Sure, we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shanspier's room that would help solve the mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. We couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? The victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he is actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Sosao-san. He didn't poison anything. There's more to this Mr. Shanspier than we yet know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shanspier certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd been returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. That's probably the safest place for him now that we've kind of blown the... Now we've kind of blown the whistle on his little gas thieving. Ultimate Gas Company, Lee Alwan did make it very clear that, she was very much looking forward to him getting into a, unfortunate accident. Oh, which one is that? Let me see. Yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as Londoners call it. You know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Mr. Green there yesterday. The same hospital which he was taken. Yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful your phrasing, Narhos. He didn't stab anyone. God. Rinosuke, you literally were the lawyer there. We solved that case. You solved that case. As we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Let's go see Stones and Iris before we leave, though. 22nd of February. Jones is sweet. Oh, Bruno and Susie. Renee, you're back. How did we went out to the attic? How did you miss us before? Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am. You look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Oh, you're gonna come at a better time. I just made a pot of tea. I'll send some cups. No tea, please. Really? Thanks, Iris. Actually, what's that foul smell? Ah, the Wanderers returned at last. When have you been? We've been in court. Oh, Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how'd the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would like to see it. Who would like to see me get a guilty verdict? I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Lord Van Sink's an acquaintance, Mr. Schultz? Did that come up in the first game? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruto. Not quite what I asked, but still. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed, that's a sign of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Have you seen my armband, Sholmes? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this... Shh! Not another word! Ah, yes, I see. This will be a collar for a brief miniature canine
Wait, we did this before. You're a dog, Ryunosuke! That's the secret! Please wash yourself, Mr. Sholmes.
I believe you tried to eat some soap once, didn't you?
True, yes. I had a theory that may cleanse the inside of my digestive system, you see.
Was it particularly dirty, do you think?
Indeed, it was. For I mistakenly imbibed some ink at the time, assuming it to be coffee. I must cleanse at once, I thought to myself. Quite logically, of course.
Only you could have an anecdote about swallowing soap. Teeth.
Ah yes, the crockery of the failed thespian and the mustachioed bookworm.
His name is Mr. Soseki Natsume. You really should try to remember it.
Right. After all, I've entrapped the man twice now. Yes, the deeply malicious bookworm has a deeply malicious mustache.
Oh dear, I'm not sure about that. A deeply misfortunate mustache, perhaps.
Not true. The mustache is indeed misfortunate. Only because it is malicious. Sholmes, please.
Oh, what wonderful reasoning, Mr. Schultz.
Now stop! You want me over here again? The man's guilty, Ryunosuke. The mustache is guilty, Ryunosuke.
You have a gas mirror. Mr. Schultz, about this...
No.
Sorry?
If you'll pursue such dull items with such a dull countenance, you must expect a dull response. At the very least, you could do something about your face, my dear fellow. I crave visual stimulation.
Something like this.
Indeed! That's quite the stimulation I desired! I just wanted to laugh at your face. I wear these goggles. I came here to laugh at you, Ryunosuke.
Envelope?
No. Elk report? No, I don't think anything else.
I just hope I can present everyone with a bar of soap and just tell them to wash themselves. Oh, wait, there's nothing new investigating here, is there? Really? We're just taking from previous... Okay. That might be, I guess. Well, when was the last time that we had, like, a case go, like, multiple days of investigation? I feel like even the one... I feel like there was one time where, like, we did have, like, a court case, like, go an extra day, but even then, I feel like we didn't actually do an extra investigation day. I don't know, I'm not super up on, like, my Ace Attorney nowadays. It's been a long time since I've really, like, re-reviewed Ace Attorney cases. Like, a buddy of mine asked me for, like, top 5 Ace Attorney cases, like, during the week, and I literally just couldn't, like, make a list, because I literally just, like, I barely remembered most of the cases. I only barely remember most of the cases.
Well, I think I'm still better than them since they fucking thought the haunted house was in case 4 of Ace Attorney Investigation. Anyway. Whatever, whatever. Plenty of other things that, like, I got... I'm sure there's plenty of other things that I could get quizzed on, would just fail miserably.
I don't know. I need to, like, rewatch all the Ace Attorney cases. I really do.
I need to remember, like... the good stuff.
I need to, like, make, like, that list at some point.
I don't know. Lord Beric von Zieks. Yes, it's an interesting... Lord Beric von Zieks. Yes, it's an interesting...
I know I've seen that word multiple times before, but I can never remember. Never remember the pronunciation.
Strych-ly.
Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet, yes, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital.
Vanish how exactly?
By falling under a passing carriage or drowning in the Thames. Or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous arrests in one's final terminus, my dear fellow.
Well, seems a little far-fetched, really.
Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit. For the time being, at least.
This is interesting that this is coming up again, because I remember it came up during, like, the previous game, but it seemed to have gotten the, McGilded died, but case 4, it seemed to quash it pretty quickly. At the very least, it made it seem like, yeah, if you get put in the core with the Reaper, you're dead anyway. And Soseki just sort of, like, fled the country and he was fine. I guess we wouldn't know for sure about, case 5 yet, but somehow I don't think they're gonna kill off Gina like that, though. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand.
As it happens, Mr. Sile, that is quite impossible.
Wait, you don't even have a pipe in your mouth. Hold on.
I never noticed that before.
You don't actually put the pipe in your mouth at all. I can see the gap. I can see, like, in front of your lips.
Oh, why?
Has it always been like that? Has it just always been like that? I'm only just now noticing that, or is it just, like, because of the angle?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi.
Really?
So his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruto.
Yeah, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. It really did end bitterly indeed.
That's before we know that Magnus Megilla was in fact a dirty criminal. And here you are facing Mr. Reaper again.
Well, Runo, I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable.
Wow! Thanks, Iris.
I think it goes deeper than just me. This is a general loathing of all Japanese people. I think they call it racism.
However, we also know that
we did find out at the end of the 5th case, like, there might be some more personal history behind Beric Von Zeeks. Unfortunately, I don't remember the exact nature of the personal history. Or however much of it was actually revealed. I need a re-review. I should not have left the sit for as long as I did. That's honestly part of the reason why I was able to motivate myself for this now. Gonna be real. A big part of the reason I was able to motivate myself for streaming today is that I just really want to play more Great Ace Attorney. Honestly, I might take some of the games off my list of games to stream just so I can actually experience them and not be beholden to I have to stream them. If it's not to me who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Susao and myself, I felt even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zeek seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese.
Indeed. It is an interesting observation.
You know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
It was about 10 years ago that Beric Van Zeeks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
I think this did come up before. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes! What happened?
I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but...
will be lived in the event of the past in due course, I have no doubt. But now, however, is Mr. Mustache who is more deserving of your attention, I believe.
Hey. No, I'm not done talking to you yet. Tell me what that cursed stench is. Is it strychnine? Is this how we learn that strychnine can be ingested? I don't think we're gonna do that. that'd be really dark. Now I know that strychnine is a thing that is like you can inhale it and that can also take effect. So is it indescribably foul smell?
Ah, well, most probably, that's what I would say.
What is that?
My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. Chemical tests can identify whether or not tea is genuine with a drop of some tea.
Oh my.
There's some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor.
Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior.
So when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris!
At the ready, Hurley.
Let's add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. You see what happens?
It's turned completely black. What a foul odor it's giving off.
Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, the more foul the odor. The blacker the tea becomes, the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It appears that this cup was particularly fine, Darjeeling, whatever. I don't know tea. I'm a coffee drinker.
That's very ingenious. What do you do with that black liquid now?
I go up and down! I suppose of it naturally. Sure, you'd like to drink it, would you?
Do you just waste the tea?
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. That's why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam.
Right.
Point is, we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation, also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which my investigative technique is based. This little tea indicator was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research.
Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that.
We'll leave that for the new generation.
Oh, fine. Your tea test, is that an example of forensic science?
Indeed it is. The essential tool in cases they hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of higher or inferior quality.
Not a huge number of cases, then.
There some more practical examples required. Fingerprints? I accepted in our course as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging your heels there.
I hadn't even heard of them until recently. I think they... I forget. Did they come up in the 4th case or the 5th case?
I know they came up during the previous game, but I forget if they came up during Soseki's case or they came up in the last case. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field of myself, blah 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 blah. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I'm researching is skin prints.
Skin prints.
A non-clementure of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes.
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Or it will blow up in my face, or my abdomen, something like that.
Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover a new clue. That's the spirit, Bruno. See you later.
Yes, until later.
Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us.
You were?
Yes, of course! You just said so a moment ago! You said we witnessed your forensic talents in action!
Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. God, I should be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. In other words, you're just gonna show up at a dramatic moment. You're just gonna be standing off to the side at a dramatic moment as you do.
Your commitment astounds me. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival.
Cesaro.
Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Susie.
Seriously, nothing to talk about, Iris?
No, you're just... Alright, you're busy typing away. Because now the converse option is done. Fine. Let's go. God, there's a lot of places to go to, actually. Go see Miss Green first. Bam! 22nd February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Recovery ward. What do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Oh, hello. Be not angry, oh ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Think of my foot! You are looking! You are looking at my painting! The eye of man hath not heard. The ear of man hath not seen. Was foul indeed the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady. I wish you died from that poison. Oh, damn. God of mercy, ample lady. But thou seest I am vigorous still. Behold, my Shamsir dance. Hoppity hop. Hoppity hop. Ha ha. Hoppity hop. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? I'd slowly walk out of the room if I watched this scene unfold before my eyes. He just turned. Like, he didn't, like, look over us. It's like someone took him and just turned him like an action figure. Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer of the land which riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare? No words about the fact that we kind of just blew your gas stealing operation wide open? Mary, I do believe I'm returned onto another ward. Look at that's what he was doing! Look at my terrible work! Decent fellow, so darkly clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Surprisingly chill about the fact that we kind of just revealed the fact that he's a thief. Oh, well, thank you. But! That doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Anon, excellent. Hey, get out of here. There's a chance here might technically be the victim in this case. But there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. He's an awful person. Ah, Scream. Is everything alright? Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. You're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. Glad that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. Presently, nothing has changed. Alright, anybody who's watching in the VOD, I know. probably in the VOD. But anyone who's still here, enjoy looking at Belle's, distant great uncle or something like that while I go get myself something to eat.